Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Wingman Wisdom. Today is Sunday, Mother's Day, May the 14th. If you have not yet hugged the mothers in your life and let them know how much they mean to you, time is running out. But welcome to Wingman Wisdom. Today, some of you, I fear, may view this as tough love, and it's not meant to be. Here on Wingman Wisdom, I share my stories and experiences and some things that I see, my perspective, if you will, in hopes that you will maybe think about things in a little bit different way. So when a big decision comes time to make, that you'll be able to go, I've got some more information in my mind so I can make a more responsible, more logical decision, and whatever it may be. So I'm going to read an email, and it is very indicative of lots of emails that I get. And again, the person that wrote this email, that they did not tell me their name, which is probably a good thing, not trying to embarrass anyone. But I got to start this out by saying that, I'm a lifelong lover of the great outdoors. I grew up in a hunting and fishing family. When I was a little boy, my dad took me deer hunting. And I wanted to shoot a deer so bad. I don't hunt anymore, but growing up, I wanted to kill a deer. And I went hunting, and I had buck fever, and I was scared to do it and didn't do it until I was 14 years old. I know that's old for some of you people to shoot their first deer, but I shot my first deer when I was 14. My dad was right by my side. Now, up until then, I had hunted every year with my father. And you're like, what does this have to do with RVing? Well, just bear with me. So I'd hunted every year with my father, and he had shot many, many deer. And every single thing that he shot, we ate. I mean, you utilize everything. And so I had watched him shoot and field dress a deer. Now, gutting a deer for my father was like surgery. I mean, he could do it and get barely just any blood on his fingers, and he was so quick and so efficient at it. And I watched him while I was kind of, looking around and kicking dirt and picking up rocks, and I was kind of watching. Well, when it came time for me to pull the trigger and I actually shot my first deer, we walked up on it, and I had mixed feelings. And I won't go into that in this video, but after my dad hugged me and we talked about it, I cried a little bit. Yep, I cried. He said, "Where's your pocket knife?" This is my pack. He said, "Well, get your pocket knife out." So I did. He says, "Go ahead." What? You shot it. You clean it. But, and he had done it a dozen times in front of me before, and it was so easy for him to do. And I'm like holding this knife, and this dead deer is on the ground. And I said, "Do I start?" And I had seen where he started. "Do I start at he said, "Son," I'll never forget this. He said, "I don't care if you go through the ear. I want you to get the insides outside." Well, I didn't go through the ear, but at the time, that is so mean for my dad to say that. Why couldn't he just do it for me? It would take him just minutes. Here I am trying to have a good time. I just shot a deer. I'm emotional about that. And why does he have to make it harder, making me have to clean the deer when he could do it for me? Well, that first experience was not good. I had blood. I looked like I came out of a horror movie. Blood everywhere. But the deer did get cleaned. And guess what? The next time I shot a deer, it was almost as bad, but not quite as bad. And through the years when I hunted, I got to become more efficient. And I also actually worked my way out of hunting. I have nothing against it now. I understand the people that do and reasons why they do hunt, about conservation, but I just choose not to hunt anymore. But I got really proficient at field dressing deer because I did it a lot. It wasn't fun to do in the beginning. It was never actually fun, but I got pretty good at it, and I enjoyed part of it. So let me go to the email and give you an example of somebody that probably doesn't want to hear what I have to say. I'm going to be like my dad going, "You get the insides outside," because a lot of people get themselves in trouble with an RV, and they shouldn't be doing that. And when they get in trouble, they ought to go, uh-oh, there's no easy way out. Like my dad said, I don't go if you go through the ear, but you're going to get the insides outside. We all seem to learn about life by the hard way, right? All right, this says, "Please help in need of experience. I watch your channel on YouTube a lot. Unfortunately, I didn't find the channel until after I purchased, an RV, and was due to having issues with the dealer I purchased from. I really need some advice from someone like you that's been in this and knows the ins and outs." Oh, I've been in it. Been in it a long time. Not as long as some people have, but I've been in it a long time. And guess what? This guy is in it. The email continues. He says, Here's my situation. I looked for years at toy haulers trying to find the right size, the right layout. I'm fortunate I can be in the Grand Design level. I looked at Lazy Days, which had better pricing, but decided to go local, thinking I would have better service buying from the local dealer. That would be where I would take for maintenance and repairs. That hasn't been the case. So I often say that going to a big dealer, chain dealers, I'm not a fan of chain dealers. I like the smaller dealers, but they're not always perfect. They're not, as you're getting ready to find out. He says, I purchased a 25G last July. We picked it up at the end of August. First weekend out, we had a heavy rain come through. Water started coming out from the bottom of the floors. Without seeing water in, was coming inside the wall somewhere. I talked with the dealer in person. As soon as I returned home, they had me purchase $400 in sealants to do the repairs myself until they could look at it. They really upset me that the sealants weren't given since I just purchased the camper. We took it out one more time for the weekend, 1st of October. Luckily, no rain. They asked me to bring the camper in October 28th to review the issues, get with Grand Design. There was some other issues like water leaks inside on the plumbing, season doors falling off the slides, a couple of other small things. How many times does that happen to you? You buy something and you go out and it just starts falling apart. Well, guess what? Part of RV ownership is kind of that. You may not like to hear it, but part of deer hunting is the dirty stuff, the stuff you don't necessarily want to do, but you need to look ahead and you need to go, ooh, I don't think I want to get into that. Or you need to be able to embrace whatever the situation happens to be. He continues. He says, this was obviously a few weeks ago. Well, as of today, April 30th, they still have my camper. So he took it in October, and here it is May, or the end of April, when he wrote this, and they've had it locked up for 6 months on their lot, the dealer has. That happens a lot more than people know. What could this person have done? He says the trim staples have already rusted when we took it in on the 28th. Water stains shown up on the ceiling, front cap area inside. This is a grand design. A grand design. I drove through the lot, but it was locked, so I couldn't enter it last week. If this is molded or mildew smell has started, that I have been without it for 6 months, to have a case to get out of, I think he means this, and away from this dealer. He names the dealer and asks what he can do. I'm going to finish it up here he says, the thought of having to deal with the incompetence of this dealer and keep something I haven't been able to use makes me sick at my stomach. Please help me in any way possible with my next steps. I've gotten a hold with Grand Design and complained with them as well. Here comes the tough love part. You're in it. I wish there was something I could say right now that could magically make it all go away and disappear, but there's not. It's like when I shot my first deer and it was on the ground. It was my responsibility. You know what my dad did? He was so mean. He could have helped me, like I said earlier. He could have gutted that deer for me. He could have fixed everything for me and made it so easy. I could have been a great hunter by learning how to do nothing. My dad sat over on a rock. I remember this, just eating an apple. Just eating an apple. Watching me struggle. And it was a struggle, I'm telling you. Life is a struggle. RVing can be a struggle. They're not all that way. Not all dealers are good dealers. Not all dealers are bad dealers. I call them RV dealers I trust. These are people that I have vetted. Are they perfect? They're not perfect, but they're the best that I know of. But still, whoever you buy your RV from, you have to be responsible. I don't know who this Northgate RV is. Don't know who they are. I know that many of the smaller RV dealerships that are being bought out by Camping World now, this is just my opinion, not an investment counselor or anything like that. I'm just an old man and observer. Camping World is buying out some of these small dealerships, and these are dealerships that are probably not very stable. These are people that have fallen on hard times, like many of us have. They got too much inventory, too much debt. They've got too much overhead. They just can't hang on, and Camping World will swoop right in and pick the things up. I heard recently on their investor call that their goal is to increase their footprint by 50% in the next 5 years. 50%. What is it, 188 stores now? What about 50% more? What's that going to do for the average person? My point is, if you're going to buy an RV, you have to own it. You have to own the responsibility. Don't wait 6 months and go, what do I do now? It's too late. Start your diary. Watch some of my videos. I'm one of many resources. Download my free RV report. Do it. If you have downloaded my free RV report, if you have viewed it, if there's one thing, even one thing that you're going, that's wrong, please tell me what it is. I spent a lot of time. I've asked a lot of questions. I've tried to put together a comprehensive report that will help you avoid turning into this guy that made all these mistakes. You still have to gut your own deer if you kill it. You still have to take care of your RV if you buy it. But you do have a choice. You don't have to hunt. You don't have to buy an RV from that person. You can use the resources that are available and then make your decision. But if you make a bad decision, you're going to have to own it. You can blame the dealer. You can blame your spouse. Well, you told me and I wanted to go with somebody else. All that stuff doesn't matter. You're sitting on a problem. How long is this guy going to be paying for this RV? I don't know. The answer is too damn long. So own your actions. Do your homework. Download my free RV report. If you don't like it, throw it away. I don't want anything. I'm not trying to sell anything. I want to be your wingman. I want to be viewed as a trusted resource, somebody who has been around the block a time or two and will point you in the right direction. At least I think it's the right direction. But the final decision on who you buy your RV from and what you buy is your decision. It's not up to me. So while I wish I could say some magic words to make it all go away, and I wish I was, I don't know, sweet enough, nice enough, kind enough to say flowery words to make it all sound nice, sometimes life just sucks. And the answer is just get through it. Just get through it. Like I look like I came out of a horror movie after that first experience when I was hunting. I think a lot of times people buy these RVs and it's like that horror experience. I don't want to see that. I want to see you being a happy camper, not just own one camper. I want you to own many campers for a long, long time. So that's what we do here on Wingman Wisdom. Sit around and pontificate. As I said, I want to share things that will hopefully make you think. My story about hunting, you probably have your story about learning the hard way, having to be responsible for things that you didn't want to have to do necessarily. But in the long run, it was good for you. My hope is that this gentleman, years from now, he'll look back and go, you know what? That really sucked, but I learned a lot from this experience. Hopefully you'll learn a lot, or at least a little bit, by watching Wingman Wisdom. I wish you would drop a note below, say hello. Let me know what you think about today's video. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. It's not too late, but it almost is. Get on the phone. Better yet, if you can see them in person, give them a squeeze. Love them. They'll be gone before you want them to be gone, I promise you. Thank you so much for watching. Again, like this video, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment below. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. I'll see you in tomorrow's video.